Hey guys, my name is Natasha Adams and I'm going to be replacing my heater core, blower motor, and the blower fan today on my 73 F100. A tall tale sign to see if your blower motor is going out is if it sounds like this. Thankfully, I was able to get all these parts for this old of a truck all in one place, and I got it at carparts.com. Just look up your vehicle make and model and it'll come up. So here is the blower motor, the fan. Along with that, obviously, the heater core. All the fins are good. None are damaged. All right, so let's get started. The 73 F100s, everything is located under the dash. In order to get all this down, we're going to have to go to the firewall and undo about 3 bolts. Super easy, and all this should drop down. Normally, these 2 hoses will be going to here, but since whoever had this car before me disconnected everything, it's actually made it easier for me because I don't have to wait for the car to cool down. But usually you disconnect these 2 as well. Okay, so in here, everything should start to feel pretty loose now. Okay, on the 73, you'll have to take this off, and then you should be able to move this forward enough to drop it. Probably so many spiders. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do before I put this on the bed is take a picture of how this is set up, take a picture of how this is set up, mark which one went to which, because you don't want to mess those up because that is what controls these levers right here. So you don't want to mess that up or else you're going to be out of luck. Sorry. SOL, I should say. Okay. Once I have it up on the bench, I'm going to turn it over, see what nightmares are underneath. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is some rusty stuff. The heater core is in here, and this is the blower motor. Ooh. That is some dirty stuff. I'm gonna get gloves. Kinda gotta jimmy it out of here. So I've cleaned this out. There's no more leaves. I actually got a few quarters out of it, so cool. Rich. So the new heater core isn't exactly as long as the old one, but it does fit perfectly in the spot where you need it to be. It doesn't move that much, so I'm going to put some padding here, and it did come with padding. So when you order it from carparts.com, it will come with padding so that you can make sure that there will be no punctures in the future while it's behind your dash. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put this over it. And I'm going to reuse the old little padding and screw these all back into here. Alright, here it is. Oh yeah. You can hear all the bearings in here. Alright, it's just a little clip. Once you have all that separated, which isn't that fun to do, I'm going to show you the upgrade fan versus the old one. So the old one had the 3 little clips that hold on to the shaft of the motor, versus this one, it actually has a little set screw right here. So that will make it 1,000 times easier to actually put this in and not have to pry on it like I did on the other one. So here's the old motor. Compare the two. Make sure all the mounting is correct. The same width apart. It's pretty much the same size. The Continental is actually pretty cool because you can see everything inside of it. And then the fan will go on like this. So obviously you don't want the fan touching the plate, you want it a little bit off. So we're gonna set it. Okay, so the set screw you do kind of want pretty much as tight as you can get it by hand, just because it is gonna have motion all the way through it. So you don't want that to back off or slide off once you have everything installed, because this will be what's spinning. Anything with motion, you want to make sure that it's tight. It's not like crank on it, but pretty tight. And let's do the sound test. Quiet. Beautiful. Alright, and then that's all set in here. You want to make sure on the other side that it's not hitting the edge. What I mean by that is you're going to want to pick up this side. You can see the motor in here, or not the motor, but the fan right here. You make sure it's not hitting. Which this is actually, it's a little closer than I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take that back out and put the fan in closer to the plate. So, test, not touching, not doing anything that it shouldn't be doing. Slam it back in here. Now, here you go. There's all the wiring. Make sure you don't pinch that. Double check again. Yeah, okay. That is a much more comfortable. Ow! That is a much more comfortable distance than it was before. I know a lot of people probably want to use electric tools on this kind of stuff. The bolts are so small and they're rusty. I'm so used to hand tools that working on old cars kind of gets you used to hand tools. New cars, gun anything. Doesn't really matter that much because it's all new, but if your bolts are from literally the 70s, I would suggest just doing it by hand. Plus, you do get the feeling for everything, so you can tell in your hands when something starts to strip. You can tell in your hands if something's cross-threaded. You start to get these that automatically you know, like, hey, something's wrong with that bolt. Whereas with a gun, I mean, you can just strip it. So, that's my little talk of the day, I guess. Okay, then it's time to take this and go back under the dash. Before you put it back in the dash, you want to double check. Make sure that all your vents are pointed the right way. Let's see. Okay, so this is actually super easy because I only have one. Cool. Only one. So I have one that goes up and to the sides for defrost, which I'm gonna need in the winter, and maybe I can warm my hands a little bit. Okay. We're gonna reconnect these. The lever adjustment cables, you wanna make sure that you match up what you had before. So this screw, you can see right here, this circle, I'm gonna make sure that this goes to this. Same thing over here. Okay, moment of truth. I would say the most important part of doing this is making sure that your wiring does not get caught or pinched while installing this. So that's the first thing I'm gonna put through there. It is sitting on its own weight, so let's see what's going on in the firewall. Okay, so I have one bolt there loose, the bottom loose, and that one finally just poked through. So I'm going to put that one, then start running the hoses forward. So the hose that I'm going to be using, heater hose, I don't know how much I need yet, so I got two 6 feet, which it looks like I'm only going to need one of them so I can return the other one, but So we're going from the firewall to one of the inlets here. One is on the intake and one is on the water pump. It shouldn't matter which one goes to which. Okay. Alright, now coolant's gonna get everywhere. There should be a tool by now that takes hoses off. Okay. Okay. Don't need to be crazy. It's pretty tight. Now, as you can see, I kind of left some room so that it's not going to be touching this constantly. So there is room, but it actually, if you look, it doesn't touch anything. So all that's left is to do the wiring and then we can test it. Well, top off the coolant and then test it. Okay, everything's plugged in, so I'm going to start the car, turn the heater on, and then shut it off, see how much coolant I have to add. Ooh. Well, I don't have AC, so let's put it to warm. And ooh, oh, I can feel it. Nice. And defrost. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Hear it? Okay. Well, there you have it. I have a heater. Everything's installed and it works. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And again, I got my parts from carparts.com, and I'll put a link to all the parts that I used in the description of this video. Bye. Ooh, it is so cozy. The air coming out of here. I'm excited for the winter.